Okay.
All right, we're with Coach Sneddon, Santa Ana College. Coach, you've been around Southern California baseball for a long time. I know you played at Cerritos College, went to Fullerton, were an All-American there, and then you ended up coming over here and starting your career as a head coach. Take me back to that kind of first year as a skipper here, and what are some memories from that first year, building this program?
Well, the transition was made easier because I had a good mentor in Jim Reach, who was here. I was with him 5 years, and he gave me a lot of leeway. He spoon-fed me, and so I was doing a lot of the things. So that transition wasn't as difficult as it would be if you'd never had head coaching experience and you just jumped into something. I basically had some co-head coaching experience. I ran the pitchers, I ran, the bus things, and I did all this. So it was a lot easier thanks to Jim Reach and giving me that opportunity with that. And he was a great coach, so all I do is just model myself after him a little bit. And I've been fortunate. I've played for Augie Garrido and Wally Kincaid, so my background is one that lends to coaching. So I couldn't create a better environment if you're going to be a coach than to have played for those type of coaches. So I just borrowed something for every one of those guys and try to put it into my personality, because I'm not Augie Garrido and I'm not Wally Kincaid. So you have to take what they offer and bring it to yourself and take a part of that and then integrate it into your personality, because it just doesn't work if you steal their stuff and think you can do that. It just doesn't work.
Now, you're known for kind of just being an even-keeled guy. Has your coaching style stayed the same pretty much over the years, or have you adjusted it kind of a little bit?
No, I'm about the same type of coach. I try to get the losses not meaning quite as much. My early years I beat myself up quite a bit on that. And you got to have a balance of life to last this long. I mean, you're going to have losses. I have 300 and some losses, That's 10 seasons of 30 losses and no wins. So if you can't handle losses, you definitely aren't going to last in this game. And so you have to learn to realize and adapt to them. That's not the end of the world. Learn from them and not carry them on. And that was the toughest thing for me. So I think as I've gotten older, I've learned not to accept any better, but learn to how to deal with them better, so that maybe I don't kick the dog quite as hard or beat the wife up quite as much as far as mentally when I get home, and have a life on a Saturday evening where before it seemed like my weekend was ruined if we lost.
Now, Santa Ana College is one of the premier community college programs in the state of California. Beautiful yard here, but maybe not as much as the top facilities as a Division I program. But if you talk to any of these guys, they all love playing here, and it's a real family atmosphere. How do you create that kind of environment?
Well, again, it comes from your personality and your coach's personality with that. I have fun doing it, and it's my life, but not my whole life. And it's a game. You still have to realize that this isn't, this isn't war. So our players have to come out and enjoy it. We try to keep an atmosphere that they can enjoy this and come out and want to be out here, and not come out here and thinking that necessarily it's a job. It's still a game. It's fun to play, and you got to keep that instilled in them. And it's tough to do when you have a lot of players and they aren't all playing. Boy, I tell you, it's a tough thing to do to keep them all happy. So you got to create an environment that they're challenging them, no matter if you're the 10th starter on the pitching staff or the first. You got to have that environment. So we have fun out here. We try to create that environment out here. We're competitive out here, and we teach a lot of self-discipline. I want my players to be able to do the things that I ask them to do when I'm not there. I want everything done before I walk out on the field, and not have me come out and yell at them to get it done.
Your team has always kind of played with a little aura, a little swagger. I think Fullerton's got that kind of attitude when they step onto the field, and that's something that coaches always try to get. Is that something that just comes over time, or is that something that you just kind of breeds the type of player you bring in, or how do you?
Well, no, hopefully it's the type of player you bring in, but not always. We don't have the luxury of bringing in those type of guys. We have to get basically with what we can, and some years are thinner than others. So the chemistry of these teams vary from year to year, and you better be able to change your coaching style to meet that type of team, or you're in trouble. You can't coach the same way year after year after year, because your teams are not even close to being the same personality. So you have to adjust to that. And if you don't, again, you're not going to get the most out of them. And teaching them, whether it's a swagger or teaching them to have confidence in themselves and their ability, it's something that takes some time. Our current club is struggling with that a little bit. And, we've tried different techniques to try to bring that out of them. And Some work, some don't. So we're still trying to find our way. So there's no set answer on that one. I just know it's a lot of work, and you got to try to create that environment for it.
You know, last question. You talked a little bit about prep before practice last week, about believing in yourself, being a competitor, and having a good bad day. Can you just touch on those last three things briefly?
Well, you're going to have bad days, and we'll start with that right there. You have to learn to deal with bad days. You're not going to be 100% on the mound. You're going to be sick someday, more than probably you feel well. So you have to have those days not be terrible days. They can just be bad days. And so if you don't learn to deal with those, you're not going to be successful. I use the analogy a lot of my players, if they're going snow skiing and they make it down the bottom of the hill snow plowing, that's not a victory because they didn't get any better. You know, they didn't get any snow on them, they didn't get any better. So you have another guy goes down and is jumping over the moguls and doing all this, and he's covered with snow. I'd rather have that guy. You know, he's trying to get better. And so he may have had a bad day, he's all sore and everything else, and the other guy think he had a good day because he's not sore. Well, again, I'll take the guy that has snow on him. The same thing out here. You're going to have to fail. Failure is a part of this game, more than success is. You're 1 out of 3, you're good. 2 out of 4, you're pretty good, you know, or whatever that might be. And so you're going to have some negatives. You're going to give up runs, so you got to deal with that. And so the character of the player comes out with how you deal with negativity. How do you deal with going 0 for 3 and come up to the plate and the game's on the line at 4th at bat? Are you carrying that baggage with you, or have you managed to leave it back in the dugout and flush it down the toilet and focus on that next pitch? That's tough to do with these kids. I mean, we preach it every day. It's easy said, hard to do.
All right, Coach. Thanks a lot, and best of luck to Dons this year.
Okay, great. Thanks.